Alright, this is just going to be a quick little explanation on what I'm going to refer to as flutter delays. I'm just kind of recording this on a whim, so I apologize if explanations aren't exactly clear, but... So, I've seen this problem happen a lot, where whenever people try to start an infinite flutter while on Yoshi, typically when you want to start an infinite flutter and gain acceleration, you're going to want to start with a shake, because that causes you to reach top speed a little bit quicker. In other situations, it takes a little bit to reach top speed, like right here. So, there's been a problem people have been having where sometimes when they try to start infinite fluttering and the flutter begins with a shake, the flutter gets kind of delayed. And I have this problem for a while too, and I did actually kind of figure out what happened. And so, I'll try and explain it the best that I can, and hopefully this will help a lot of people who are struggling with this issue. So, generally when you end an infinite flutter, you're generally going to end the flutter by just kind of releasing A, like that. And whenever that happens, your next flutter can start as normal. But there is another way that an infinite flutter can be cut short, and this is especially relevant if the places you're fluttering to are of different heights. So for example, when you're fluttering from there to there in Starshine Beach 1, sometimes this can happen, where your flutter can get cancelled by landing on the floor. So I'll kind of exaggerate it. So notice how, like, as soon as I started a flutter, Yoshi landed on the ground, and that's how the flutter ended. So I don't exactly understand the technicalities behind it, but whenever that happens, that will be the start of a delayed flutter. So as you saw right there, whenever I started the flutter by shaking, Yoshi would just immediately start falling, and he wouldn't start fluttering until he was already too close to the ground. Now, that only happens if your flutter is initiated with a shake. So as you can see, I initiate my flutter with a shake, and then Yoshi lands on the ground. So it's going to happen again the next time I try that. And that's why people find it so frustrating, is because there doesn't seem to be a fix to this. And again, note that that only applies if your flutter's shaking. Here I start one out of a side flip, notice that it doesn't happen. So it only applies if the flutter begins with a shake. And there is a relatively simple fix to this. So I'll set it up here. So if you get that problem to happen, an easy way to fix this is to just double tap A like that. Similar to what you would use to cut your flutter short in Starshine in a Sweet Mystery Comment. You just do a double tap A, and that'll make it so that the next time you start a flutter with a shake, then it will start properly. So, to kind of demonstrate. So, I got the canceled flutter, so now Yoshi does delayed flutters, so I double tap A, and so I can immediately just do the double tap A, and then I jump and shake, and I can start fluttering again. So that's what you want to do whenever that happens. And one pretty easy way to make sure that you can avoid that happening is if it looks like your flutter got canceled like that, then a good thing to do is to just jump in place and then immediately start fluttering like that. So one place where that can be relevant is actually in Starshine Beach 1. A couple other places I can think of are when doing Question Block Flutter in Fearsome Fleet, and when doing the first flutter in Galaxy Generator. This could sometimes happen, so I'll try and demonstrate this. So, in Starshine Beach 1, this can happen on this flutter, when you're going from here to the Tower of... Okay, I guess I didn't reset it. So, that can happen. So, now if I were to try starting a flutter with a shake after grabbing this silver star, I would get a delayed flutter. So what I do is I do one jump and I do the short flutter when grabbing that silver star, and then my double jump is when I start fluttering. Otherwise I would get the delayed flutter. So hopefully that was a good enough explanation. If you have any questions, just ask me and I can try and clarify on details if needed. I just thought I'd get this out there since it's something that's been needed to get out there for a while, and I really hope this will help a lot of people who are struggling with this while trying to infinite flutter.